Welcome to the Mom Boss Podcast, the show where motherhood meets business and everything in between. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the Mom Boss Podcast. I am your host, Bailey, and I have a special guest for you guys today. This guest is an absolute badass boss, and she is a mom of two. She owns 3 businesses, and she's probably working on many other things as we speak. So we'll talk to her more about that. But I'm really excited to have her on my show. Welcome, Kaylee Schulke. I wish I need like some kind of applause, like to like bring you in.
Yeah.
Kaylee, I just want you to kind of first introduce yourself a little bit,
Okay.
talk about your family first, and then let's go into your business ventures and things like that.
Okay. So to start, Justin and I have been together since 2012. We got married in 2016, and then we had our first baby in 17, and then our second baby in 21. We had a boy and a girl.
Payton's the older one. Harper is the cutie little queen.
Harper is the queen, that's for sure.
Yes.
Payton is 7. He loves soccer, lizards, wrestling. He just bought a lizard. It's kind of a big deal here.
You guys got a lizard?
Yes.
What's the name?
A burrito.
Adorable.
Yeah. We love Mexico. So burrito, taco, they were all like mix. And then Harper's 3. She loves gymnastics. She loves dancing. Anything that will make you laugh, it's what she's up to.
They're awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of our family. We have a dog, Winnie. The Schulke shit show, if we're allowed to swear here, but
we're allowed to swear.
Yeah, we are the Schulke shit show.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You guys, I mean, you are, but you're also not. You guys are so fun.
We love to be like outside. We love to travel. We always say like we work really hard so that we can play even harder. So,
yeah, I love that. Yeah. Do you have any adventures coming up with your family?
So it's not with our family. We got the opportunity at the end of February to go on a trip with our best friends. So we are going for 4 days, and we're taking both of our best friend couples, the Holtz and the Buckholtz, and we are going to Mazatlan, Mexico for 4 days.
Ooh, that's so fun. Oh my gosh, so jealous. That's going to be a blast.
And then we're going to take the kids back to Mazatlan. We've never traveled there before. Prior to us having kids, we had traveled to Puerto Vallarta a lot. And so we felt super comfortable taking the kids there, but we haven't been to Mazatlan. So we thought that this was a good opportunity to go kind of see what it is, figure out everything. And then we'll take the kids back in September for Peyton's 8th birthday.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Also, I cannot believe he will be 8.
Me either.
He's such a little dude. He's so cool.
He is so cool. He's growing his hair out right now. It's killing me softly.
What inspired that?
Honestly, it's probably from me always cutting his hair, like very routine his whole life. Like he's always been a 3-week haircut kid, and I just always did it. So I have no idea.
He's sick of that shit.
Yeah, he's done.
This isn't actually the next question I was going to ask you, but I'm curious if there's anything about motherhood that's really surprised you, something that has just, that you weren't expecting, it good or bad. I assume it's going to be good, but I'm just curious what surprised you in motherhood.
Surprised me. I think it honestly is that no matter what season you're in, like, I think my mom had told me this, like as soon as it doesn't matter the age of your kid, but as soon as you kind of figure them out and like what they're into and what works for them, like as, toddlers and tantrums and stuff, it's going to change. Like, so as soon as you figure it out and you're like, yes, like I am really doing this, then your child changes and you have to be able to adjust. So I would say that's probably like the most surprising thing, because I think you expect for the same thing all the time, and it's just not that.
You're so right. Gosh, once you get something figured out, it totally shit hits the fan, and you have to figure out a new way to get them in the car or feed them their vegetables or whatever the case may be.
Like, it could be the simplest thing as like, I feel like actually Justin and I have always done this, but you go through like, we'll be on a cereal kick and we're like, yes, we love cereal. You buy all the cereal and then no one eats it.
Absolutely.
Like that kind of motherhood stuff that, it's all for a season is what I say. If it's a good season, great. If it's a bad season, it's still a season. Like you're gonna it's gonna be something else next week.
Yep, I absolutely agree with that. That is such a good and relatable way of describing it. Everything is a season, and the good ones, they don't last, and neither do the bad ones. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think you have to sit in that uncomfortability, knowing that it's not going to. And I think that's something a lot of moms don't like starting motherhood. You don't know that.
Oh, there's so many surprising things, but that's a really good one. I want you to talk to me a little bit about your businesses, your business partners. We've talked a lot about how you've built your businesses, but you're very quick and adamant to mention that you have not done this alone. I would love to touch on the businesses that you own, maybe one at a time, and then talk about a little bit, you know, who partners with you there and how they've helped you bring it to the success that you've been able to achieve.
So I'll start with new appearances because that is, I guess, where I've spent most of my time. I don't want to take away from the other businesses, but being a salon owner was always kind of my goal. I've never in my life said, I want to own a painting and electrical company. So, new appearances is kind of the first. I went to beauty school in 2012, got out, knowing that I did not want to be an employee. I did not want to go into a salon that was going to tell me the clients, tell me the services, tell me the hours, all of that kind of stuff. I wasn't afraid to do any of it. It was just, I guess, who I am enough that I was like, I really would like to lease. So I did an externship. It didn't work out. So I got on Craigslist. Mind you, this is in 2012, Craigslist. And there was a station for lease right across the street from where Justin and I lived, and that was new appearances. And I went in and I met with now my business partner, Jamie, and she literally wrote me out on this little sheet. You need these licenses, you set your own pricing, you pay your rent on the first, like the chair's yours if you want it. She got me in touch with a rep, and I worked for her for 3 years, up until she asked me to buy new appearances in 2016. And I did. She had lots of stuff going on in her personal life, and she wasn't sure she was going to stay in the industry. And this is like nothing negative on me, but filling all of the roles was too much for me. It was like the accounting, the bookkeeping, the bank, the all of that kind of stuff. I figured out that year that I did not enjoy any of that, and I really didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's like it's so huge in salon ownership is like you have to do that stuff. So Jamie and I kind of re-met, and I said, will you buy back the other half of the salon? I want to expand. I want to grow. I want to, I have big dreams of what new appearances can be because at this time it was just a 5 station hair salon. There's a couple leasers and Jamie and I.
And
And
now what is it?
oh, it's a lot.
Mm,
We have 3 locations and we have 22 leasers underneath us.
dang.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, yeah, keep going.
So yeah, she agreed. The unit above, so the Bonnie Lake Salon, there's a downstairs and then there's an upstairs. They're not connected, but that unit became available. That I think it was August of 17, and I delivered our first son in September of 17. Um, tells you time span.
Yep.
We agreed to all of this. We got the lease and we renovated that salon fast. We opened on September 1st. There was 4 stations and 2 suites in that location, and it had leasers in it like that fast.
Wow.
Yeah, after that was in 17. In 18, we got the opportunity from one of Jamie's previous estheticians that said, hey, if you, Jamie had told her like years prior, if you ever decide to sell your Sumner salon, please let us know. It was like October of 18, and she called and she was like, you guys want to go see it? And it was December 1st that we got the Sumner salon.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's in if anyone knows Pacific Northwest area, but it's in a super cute little town. It's in the Windmill Gardens. So there's like a nursery near us and a bistro and a tea shop and just a super cute, cozy salon.
That's where
So
I get my hair done by Kaylee. That's where she does my hair.
it just, I don't know. I think it's special to me because it's the first salon that like, I don't want to say that I like created alone, but because I definitely did not create it alone, but I think that my team and like the atmosphere that I work with every day there has made it feel like so special. So,
What I love is that beginning of your journey really speaks to the importance of asking for help.
mhm.
Like, you purchased Jamie's portion of the salon and then you realized quickly that you're like, "Oh, no."
No, yeah,
Like, no.
I had just touched on like figuring out because so when you lease a station in a salon, you have your own business. Like you're doing your own books, you're doing all your stuff. But the way that I was doing business and the way that she was doing business was night and day difference. And it was just too much for me to bite off at, 23 years old. Like,
Absolutely.
so yeah, I think I mean, without a doubt, I can say like New Appearances would not be where it is without having had said like, yeah, this isn't it. But
Totally. Well, I mean,
um,
like, sometimes people can look at businesses and think that it was an easy road or that, like, from the outside, or they don't understand the work that went into it, or they don't value it like you do. But I think that's so cool and eye-opening. I know nothing about the industry of hair. Like,
yeah,
I literally just come in and I'm like, "What are we doing today?" And you're like, "What do you wanna do?" I'm like, "I don't know, whatever you wanna do." Like, literally, I know so little that I, like, just leave my hair in your hands, you
yeah.
know?
That a lot of clients don't get to do that. I know that a lot of clients don't get to do that. And I can't say that every client that sits in my own personal chair gets to do that, but it's so nice like for you and for me as a stylist to know that like you're just happy to be there and you know that your hair is going to look good and it's easy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
What do you love what do you love about, your job as a stylist?
I think it's like the personal connection. Like I don't think that a lot of jobs, we'll call it, because it doesn't honestly feel like a job most days. Most jobs, like you don't get to talk to people, and people are like pretty often they're more vulnerable than not because as a hairstylist, like we're safe. We don't know who you're talking about. We know from you, but we don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think getting actually to physically touch people and then be there emotionally for them too. It's a cool job.
It is. I mean, I swear, like, I put off therapy for so long because I've been in your chair for so long, you know?
Taking advice from me, please. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh, I swear, like, do you ever think that, like, stylists should get some kind of a, like, legit,
All the time.
like
I'm sure I've said it to you, but I'm like, I don't have any cool advice for you, but I am here for you to listen because I have no I can't like I know I can't advise on certain situations, but there has been times on the other side of it that like, you know, like new moms and stuff, like I totally feel like there is times that like if you're ever a new mom and you need to know what the heck is going on with your kid, go to a hairstylist that has a kid because I have had clients say like, "Holy moly, what do I do? What does this look like?" Like gone over and like this is obviously a very close client relationship, but hey, I can't latch my baby. We live 2 minutes from the salon. Can you come help me? I know you nursed your son for 2 years. Like it's
yeah.
just stuff like that like it truly is a relationship with someone if your client and you both put in the time to have that.
You sparked a thought in my mind, but one thing as a new mom that helps you get through kind of that postpartum, that new baby, that new is getting your hair done.
Hmm. It totally is. And I think that part of it is the physical and the like you feel good, you look good, all of that vibe. But I do think that some of it is like a lot of moms, I'm their first outing. Like they haven't left their baby before they've come to me. And then have they really been touched a lot in 4 weeks, 5 weeks? Probably not, besides by their baby.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is. It's special to get them to get to come spend that for their first time. And it does, it makes the biggest difference postpartum.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes me emotional because I'll never forget after having the twins, like coming in and getting my hair done. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so life changing. And you don't like, I don't think it's not something that you really associate with like a life changing experience a lot of times.
You don't.
But like going and just getting your hair brushed, getting your
Yeah.
hair shampooed, getting the dreads out of your hair for the first time after you've been nursing and you've been not sleeping and you've been, all those things. I mean, it is truly like life changing and you
Yeah.
don't really realize it in the moment until you're looking back at it.
I think it's so important to see someone that also I mean, not that everyone gets to, but if you can see someone that's been through it, you're just like, oh my God, okay, I'm not freaking out. I'm gonna do this too. Like,
Mhm.
I think it gives a different level of like confidence when you leave. You're like, okay, I might sleep again.
Yeah. It will eventually happen for me. I am not alone. I'm not the first mother to traverse this path. I will I will survive. Yeah, no, I think, gosh, I think we underestimate the power of what is it on Anta's station that says, like, therapy or, like she's a
Therapist.
therapist. Gosh, it's so special. What a special job. You're absolutely right. Like, how often do you get to sit
Yeah,
2 to 3 hours with somebody
yeah, not very often.
and, like,
There was
have that
something
relationship?
so cool in a book that I just recently read, and it's by Mel Robbins, if anyone's looking for a good book recommendation. But she was talking about the power, like to create a relationship, you have to spend 200 hours with someone. And like as a mom, as an adult, that kind of stuff, it like struck me because I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't, I don't have 200 hours, right?
No.
10 years ago, I had all the time in the world. I could totally go and create that new friendship and dive into, their life. And they could dive into mine. Like things looked different. Uh, my first reaction was like, oh, I'm never going to have a new friend again. Jeez Louise. Like that's out the window. And then I started thinking about it as a hairstylist and as a salon owner. And I was like, dang, the people that have sat in my chair for a decade, because I am on that side now. I'm like, oh, I've spent 200 hours with these people. I don't consider them just a client. And you can tell that the girls that are shadowing underneath me, they know that as soon as the client sits down, because they're like, you're really comfortable with them. And I didn't think of it that I had probably spent that much time with people, but I'm sure I have over the years. So
Wow, that's so cool. What's the name of the book?
let them. To let them.
Let Them.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
saw you post about that.
Yeah.
Um,
It was good. There's a lot of things. I wasn't a huge reader, obviously.
I
Time.
hate reading.
I like a year ago, 2 years ago maybe, fell in love with Audible books and like fully changed my life because in the midst of, folding laundry and driving to soccer and all of those kind of things, just being able to like check out for a sec is huge.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I
Or
mean, you're so right. Say that again.
learn something.
Absolutely. Gosh, I have a hard time listening to Audible because my brain is like bop, 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 bop. So then I have to rewind and then listen to it again. And then I'm like, what the heck did I just listen to?
Yeah.
Like I love when people can listen to Audible because I cannot.
Yeah, it took me a while, and the voices honestly bothered me at first because I was like, okay, it's just like robotic kind of. But after you listen to like two or three, you don't think anything of it, and you can train your brain to like
Yeah.
do it. I don't know
Yeah.
how. It does happen.
Repetition, repetition. It's just like with anything. You've gotta practice it to get used to it, but
Yeah.
no, I love that, absolutely. Ah, so good. It's just yeah, it's so cool. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Black Pearl Electric and Black Pearl Painters. I'd love to kinda know that business partnership situation, what it's like working with family, and also maybe even just how Black Pearl became a thing, stuff like that. So go ahead and tell us your story.
So Justin was in the paint industry. I'm rewinding on you guys again. This
Mhm.
was 2017, along the same time that we were having Payton. Justin had been in the industry for like 4 years. He was a salesman for a big corporate company, and he learned a lot. He learned how to sell, how to project manage, just the ins and outs of the business. He had left that corporate company because it wasn't fitting. I don't want to say it wasn't fitting his mold. I think he had outgrown what
Yeah.
his role could do there. And so he went to a smaller company here locally, and it kind of lit a fire under his butt to just be like, okay, this is like a normal dude, right? He's done it. Why couldn't I? I think Justin and I both at times like struggle a little bit with like imposter syndrome of like, we're just normal people. We have chaos all the time. Like I don't, I think that was a big thing, was just him believing like, oh, I could do this too. So long story short, my mom said to him, if you want it, you do it. We'll figure it out, the financial part. I'll go into business with you. She actually pulled a loan out of her 401k, I believe, to offset his income and give him 3 months. So it was January of 2017. And he did that. It makes me emotional thinking back on it, but
You're making me emotional.
I can talk about my own self, but him is hard. Yeah, they've like grown a huge company, him and my mom. You're gonna have to cut this part out.
Absolutely not. I'm not cutting that out. I'm
They
not cutting that out. This is an emotional podcast.
Oh, great. He was wild. Like, he's in the first year, we like all teased because he was like, I'm gonna sell $1 million in my first year of business. I'll do $1 million. We were like, okay, sounds good. He did. And he's continued to do that
Wow.
every year. He always puts out I'm gonna do this. And every year he does it. So my mom runs like all the
Ugh.
books for Justin's business. She's kind of his right hand. He does all of like the frontline work. He runs about 35 guys during busy season, drops down to like between 20 and 25 in the winter. But
Wow.
yeah, my mom does all of like the website, the licensing, the taxes, the website, I mean, there's so much that goes into their business that I don't even think I can fully attest on, but they've created a really cool dynamic and they work very well together most
Oh,
days.
I love them. I love their I love their relationship. I think, gosh, it's so cool to be an outsider looking in on your business. I just love how much your mom loves Justin. I think it's so cool and special. And I think it is really cool that family can work together and create such a successful business. How cool that Justin set this huge goal for himself year after year and has
Mhm.
been able to meet that. I mean, that is emotional and that is celebration worthy and very cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's not something that we like share often because you never want to be like, I don't know, too proud. Because like I said,
Mhm.
we're just normal people. But yeah, it's cool what he's done.
Oh, I'm so proud. I was gonna mention to people who, didn't know, but Kaylee is my family, so I know them outside of just doing this podcast. My brother married a sister, and then her brother married a sister, and then anyways, it's pretty fun. So, it's been fun to, like, watch from the outside. We are a family of entrepreneurs, and that extends to, like, the whole overarching of the like, everybody in the family, like, it's super cool.
Yeah. And so Bailey's brother and my husband Justin work so well. His wife and I actually tease all the time. We like send each other funny reels and stuff because they're about like being married to a business owner. But they are both like very similar minded, and yeah, all of it kind of goes across the board. The whole family is, yeah, It's wild how all of us have connected over years. I mean, our electrical company works underneath Derek's company all the time.
Talk a little bit about Black Pearl Electric.
Black Pearl Electric kind of came to light last spring. My brother-in-law had just finished all of his electrical certs, became tested out to become admin for electrical. And we had always talked about like pipe dreams, like someday we're going to do this. And we found out he was going to be a dad. And so we did it. He had worked in the union around here for his level of licensing. He was either unemployed or he was working for like lower rates to be able to work. Mm. So yeah, that's kind of what sparked Black Pearl Electric, was just finding out that, we got to have another baby in the family, and makes me
I like
emotional.
I can see you like tearing up over there.
Yeah. Like it's been crazy. It has been, to kind of start another branch, but it's been good. My mom is also just taken on a portion back of Black Pearl Electric so that we can have like a full team, because again, I cannot do it all. And I had to do the same thing. Come December, I was like, there is no way for me to answer all of the emails, all of the calls while I'm behind the chair, because I still work behind the chair 3 days a week, on top of new appearances. So I had to bail out on that a little bit too.
I
So
mean, it's crazy. It's so much to own one business, let alone be at the at very important ownership levels of two more businesses. Like it's like uh,
wild.
it's incredible. It's wild. It is wild.
I have people ask a lot. They're like, I don't know how you get anything done. Like, I don't know how you do anything. And I'm like, genuinely, like, it's we always have lists. Like, I'm not kidding. I wish that it would show on the camera, but like
Yeah.
everywhere that Justin and I go, like there is lists everywhere of just, and like in my notes in my phone, there's like 300 notes of just like, mine today is, I don't know, 10 different things that at 11 o'clock last night that I was like, okay, I have to do these tomorrow. I probably would get 8 of them done.
Yeah.
Like, but just always keeping a running tally, which I think scares people, to always have something at you. But I think we would have it in corporate world too. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it would change regardless of a job that we had. You're always going to have a list.
With running multiple businesses, would you say that the biggest challenge would be time management, or what would you say is the biggest challenge with owning multiple businesses and running a family?
In early years, time management was a super big thing Justin and I did. Like, I mean, it, building out salons, renovating salons. Like, I mean, there was a lot of times that like huge time went into. I guess time management is probably it. I mean, it was hard, but I think that as like life happens, like I mentioned in the beginning of this, like we do work super hard, but we play way harder. Like, our house is kind of a revolving door for our friends, for our family. Like, might be a Saturday night and there's no plan. And then next thing you know, like the yard is full of kids. And it's just, we're door dashing Taco Bell. Like, it's nothing fancy, but I think that knowing to play hard is the biggest, even if you are self-employed.
Yeah. Well, how did you combat like you guys do get to do a lot of things as friends and family. How have you figured out the time management, if you have, or the balance to be able to work hard and play hard and put your family in a position of you come first?
Yeah, I think it's like a learning thing every day. I don't know that we've like fully accomplished that. Justin and I, like, I'll use our trip to Mexico that we went in the fall. There was several days that Justin and I both, hey, I need 2 hours on the computer. Like, I don't want to say that we've perfected it by any means, because we
Mhm.
haven't. But I think that knowing it about ourselves and knowing like we can turn it on and off is the biggest.
Yeah. No, I think, there's the thing about balance, right? Like, I don't think it truly exists. I think that, again, it's seasons. And I
It's
think,
100% seasons. I think that that's the best way to put it, is
yeah.
the day-to-day, like, some days you do better at it, other days you don't. I would say I am good about making sure that, like, once our kids are home, making sure that there is intentional time. Just like something simple that we do is at nighttime, we will all go sit in our sauna for just, 20 minutes, no devices. Sometimes we listen to music, sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't. But yeah, just asking, I guess, the intentional questions make a big difference in those little time breaks too. I can most of the time get more out of my son in that moment than I can like when he first comes home from school and I say like, "How's school?" He's like, "Good." And
Yeah.
then a lot of times at night, once like he's decompressed, I'll be like, "What was your high? What was your low?" Just nonchalant. Well, I'll say it. And a lot of times I find out stuff that I don't know that I would have found out if like we weren't laying down with him at bedtime. Like we don't need to. He's 7, but we want to. It's like
Mhm.
simple acts like that I think make the biggest for time management. And
Yeah.
honestly, putting these down.
Yes. Gosh, that's like a big thing. And it's something that's changed. Even the way that I interact with my kids too is like, I know that I am shorter with them. I get more irritated with them. I am more annoyed easily when I am on my phone, when I am trying to post a reel, trying to send that email,
Yep.
trying to send the text message, when as moms and as business owners, we are available to everyone 24/7 because of our cell phones. Um, and I think that a great shift that could be more intentionally made in 2025 for people would be what you just said, like putting away the phone, putting away the devices, and spending that intentional time.
It doesn't have to like I think that you
Yeah.
can go full send on it and, that wouldn't work for mine and Justin's life.
Mhm.
Like, we couldn't go full send because that's our lifeline. That's what pays our
Mhm.
world. So, but I do think that just spending the extra 30 minutes, like, making sure you don't have it maybe 30 for yourself, 30 for your family, like, a day is huge, especially if you're self-employed.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's such good advice. Just making sure that it's just being mindful. It's
Mm,
being mindful and like you said, being intentional, just making sure that you're spending time with your family in that way. Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have so many questions for you. Hey, what's your favorite part about being a mom?
Ooh, I don't know what it would be. All of it?
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't think I could pick one thing because every day is different.
I'm answering for you. It could be that you enjoy the seasons.
I
Like,
do, yeah, yeah, I like the highs and the lows. It's
yeah.
like yeah, and I just like, they're just, like, so happy, like, and it's like, you get a puppy and they're like, "Mom, mom, 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 mom."
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think that's, like, the biggest thing. It's just for the most part, I am their favorite person. Or
Yeah.
just I mean, they have lots of favorites. Lots of people love
Mhm.
them, and we're so grateful for that, but for the most part, like, I think being someone's favorite is cool.
Mhm. Ooh, that's a good one. Being someone's favorite. I love that.
And don't ask my 3-year-old that right now.
3-year-olds are the most inconsistent people on the planet.
Mhm. They are.
This might be a little bit more vulnerable. I'm curious if there's anything that a challenge that you faced or something you struggled with or an obstacle that at first held you back
Mhm.
from business or it could be motherhood too, but that you have overcome. And if there's any advice you have for other moms who may be facing something similar.
It's just, like, cheesy, but, you never wanna fail. Like, I think that was huge for me is, like, sometimes I, like, held myself back of, like, "Oh, I wanna do this," because of the, like, fear of failure. With that, like, you can always overcome lows too. So, I think it that was probably my biggest, like, setback was just my own head, like
Mhm.
trying to figure out what I like. Should I do this? Am I worthy of doing this? Like, why why wouldn't someone else get to do it? Like, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest like setback.
Like,
Your own,
the fear of failure,
yeah,
like, would be and
yeah,
then you've overcome that by being like
yeah. And like, who really cares?
Yes.
Who super cares? If you like, it, I think your life, especially with social media, is like such a highlight reel that like it's so easy to get in your head of like, oh, what if I fail? What if I, that kind of stuff because of social media, because you see other people doing it. No one's actually going to know. Like,
Yeah.
no one really knows if you actually failed or if you flew. Like, it doesn't, it's your own thing. So,
Yep. And whose opinion matters but your own. So, I think
yeah.
that's totally spot on. Oh, I love it. How has motherhood changed the way that you do business?
I've never really done business without being a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't. It's been a
I
long
mean,
time.
I think in the beginning parts of being a hairstylist, like something that I would say set me apart from people, was that I would take any service. Like it didn't matter. I literally would tell Jamie, like, if someone calls and wants their eyebrows waxed, like I'll be here in 15 minutes. Like it was like the flexibility to do that stuff was really nice. So I'd say that's probably the only thing that changed. However, like I bought a commercial building with Harper. I didn't even touch on this on new appearances, but right after COVID, we bought a commercial building and turned it into Salon suites. And Harper was right there with me. Like, I have pictures signing the mortgage paperwork in a building with a 10-month-old. Like, so I think it just being flexible.
Yeah. Well,
I
for
don't
you,
really,
motherhood and business, they go hand in hand. Like you
oh, yeah.
like I
Everything we do in our businesses is for our children. Like,
yeah.
and businesses have been born literally upon, like, Payton was born in 17, Black Pearl was 3 months later. Black Pearl Electric was born in May. Emma was born in October. Like, we've done them for our kids.
Yeah.
So,
And I assume that the most appealing thing about being your own business and owning your own business is that freedom
mhm.
to not only run your own business, create your own schedule, create your
Yep,
own income,
yep,
and have that flexibility. I mean, I
yep.
assume that's I just
Yeah,
took the
oh,
words
yeah.
out of your mouth.
Oh, it is. Like, I literally change my hours, like, that I do work behind the chair regularly. Like, I will change them based on the season, based on, like, are my kids in school right now? Do I need to be off this day? Do I need, anything that we need? For the most part, we can adjust. I will say that there's always like, it's a term that I've seen a lot recently, but like being a primary parent is a thing. And I would say that for the roles in our life, especially during Justin's busy season, I do kind of take on that primary parent role. And then we do go right back to, like right now. He has had Harper pretty much all day today because I had stuff that I needed to do, wanted to do. So, and she just honestly goes right along with him.
Mhm. Yeah.
She might be on a job site. She might be at his haircut appointment. I have no idea where they are right now. But yeah, we have like their little Black Pearl shirts and sweatshirts. And if anything, I think our customers know that we're a family based business enough that if a little kid pops out of the truck, they're like, heck yeah, bring them in.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I mean, I love that so much. I think sometimes as a mom and a business owner, you shy away from showing the background of your business. Like it can seem messy in motherhood sometimes. Have you ever felt that way about running your business as a family owned business? Or you're like, who cares? Who actually cares? No one. I'm just curious, like how you've overcome.
Like, I guess like upholding an image, is that kind of like what you're touching on?
Maybe not so much like upholding a professional.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that in some ways, yes, we do. Like, this is an example for we always partner with Tunes at Taps here in Bonnie Lake, and we always have a booth in the summertime. It's like 8 Wednesdays a summer, and we go set up a booth. And I remember the first time that we went, Harper was pretty young, and there's food trucks everywhere, and there's like I just kids and live music. And I remember being in my head about like, oh, like she has food all over her face. She's in a logoed shirt. Like I guess in my head, I wanted us to look like this, like perfect family
Mhm.
and professional.
Professional. Yeah.
It was so far from that. Like,
Yeah.
she ripped her hair ties out. Her hair was crazy. She had food all over her face. She had also had face paint done that like smeared down her face. Like, and it just I remember like sitting feeling uncomfortable, and I never should have been, cuz
Mhm.
like the people that saw her still were like, she's so cute. Like, props for having her out here and supporting your business. And she had like the little pails that we had made, paint pails that had candy. She was handing them out to people. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't, I think the like idea of we have to be clean and we have to be like, it's okay to just be messy.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. I think a lot of times that feeling happens when you have young kids.
Please don't pick your nose here. Don't like the
Yeah.
car. Like, get off the floor. Like, they did like, they're doing all the things that you're thinking, wow, this is not publicly acceptable. And they do it in the times that you want them to act a certain way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
You've just gotten over it and you're like, you know what? This is what it is. And the right people, your right clients, like,
Mhm. It is what it is. Like, I think
yes.
the more that you are vulnerable and the more that you show people, like, "Hi, yes, we are the Schulke Shit Show. You will still have a really nice hair and a really nice paint job." It it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
I love it. I love it. I do love it. I think that a lot of moms who are starting out their journey in
Mhm.
motherhood, that's totally something that they need to hear is it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It is a part of your life.
Mhm.
You are a small business owner.
Yeah, and you can go and do that, like, amazing branding shoot and
Mhm.
look the part of this, like, I have amazing branding shoot photos from you of all the girls in my salon. Do I look like that every day? No, I don't. Like, and do I act like that every day? No, I don't. Like, so
Yeah.
I think it's important that, yes, you do those things, but you also have the real and the raw, because people are gonna be from my experience, much more attracted to the real and the raw than they are that staged perfect look.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm curious, as you've navigated motherhood and entrepreneurship, what boundaries have you held for yourself for like for your business or whatever? Is it really like cutting back the hours and things from the chair? What kind of boundaries have you held so that you can make sure that you're successful in motherhood during this
Mm,
entrepreneurial journey?
I would say probably the number one thing is just asking like for help and like finding a safe spot that your kids are safe in. Cause like a lot of times for me, like I don't really want to leave my kids. Like
Mhm.
I would rather take them with me to fix the plumbing problem than call and say, hey, can you watch them for an hour?
Mhm.
Salon plumbing problems are often.
Interesting, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, nonstop.
So
It's like
so is that next Black Pearl Plumbing?
probably not, but we could hope. The salon would appreciate it. Hair salons are gross. There's hair, there's color, yeah, it's just
There's trauma because you've been trauma dumped on by your clients.
it just never fails, the plumbing. But yeah,
Everyone's hair is full of secrets.
it sure is. It comes out in the pipes and breaks them. Um, yeah, it was, like, I think that was the biggest thing is me finding someone that, like, I can say, "Hey, are you home?" Like, and we just got so fortunate with who we have in our life to be able to do that with. She's has a degree in early childhood development and she teaches a preschool, and our kids like fully treat her and her daughter who helps us as like a grandma and their family. And so they are literally 5 minutes from us.
That's
So
awesome.
a lot of stuff that I know we touched on it in the beginning, but a lot of stuff that Justin and I are able to do is because we do have help from so many different people.
I was gonna ask you, I was gonna talk to you a little bit about the village, how
Mhm.
you've kind of curated your own village and maybe what that looks like or how you guys are able to do what you do. And I'm just kind of curious, because once kids get in school, it gets a little easier. Once kids are able, they're older, it gets a little bit easier. But I'm just curious what kind of village you guys have.
We like genuinely it we I think earlier in business, because obviously like budgets and stuff looked smaller. So stuff like, deep cleaning our home, doing all the landscaping in our yard, doing these are things that I have help with now that I'm just listing off. Having
Mhm.
someone that comes and scoops the dog's dog poop. Like, I know that those are all like things that we all have to do in our homes. Those are kind of things that Justin and I probably 3 years ago started bringing in that kind of help to our home,
Mhm.
because we saw that with having that help, it allows us to grow something else somewhere else. That made a huge difference in our life. Just
Mhm. Mhm.
hiring the other businesses that are small businesses just like ours to come in and, kind of keep things to working standard. Like,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, everything still gets destroyed here. It's every 2 week kind of
You
thing
have
for.
young kids, like, you have kids, like,
Oh
that's just a
yeah.
given.
Yeah, like Laundry Mountain is my best
Oh,
friend.
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I try to be on top of it? Of course. Like, but does that always happen? No.
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 Mm-mm.
Yeah. Grocery
No.
delivery, thank God for that. 'Cause
Mhm.
I can't imagine life without being able to just order, we use Walmart Plus and it's on the front door the
Mhm.
next day. Like, so it's all stuff that I guess costs money that we had always not considered doing because it did cost money. Same with, let's use a nanny as an, another excuse. It's going to cost money, but if you have the drive and you have a foundation that you want to grow, it's totally worth doing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just
your
like
life.
anything in your business. It's
Oh,
like outsourcing your taxes,
mhm.
outsourcing your,
Yep.
um, bookkeeping, and things like that. It
That was
is an extension.
something so huge for me for like so many years. I don't even know. I cleaned our salons for every week forever. Like every Sunday, I have videos like from security cameras of Payton napping on my back on a Sunday, and I'm mopping, our Bonnie Lake salon. Like, just that kind of stuff. I now I don't clean the salons. We have someone clean them, but for so long, like, it felt like those things, putting them into a budget wasn't going to work for us.
Mhm.
But as things have grown, I really wish I would have done it sooner, because
Mhm.
I don't want to say I could have grown faster, but I probably could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to wonder. It's 2020 vision, or like
Yeah.
looking back, you always see it more clearly, but it is. My therapist, she says, "Don't do shit you suck at."
Mhm.
And
I should not
so
be mowing the yard. Like, I have destroyed a few lawnmowers.
no Black Pearl landscaping in the
No,
future for the Schulke shit show.
unless we get a really good landscaper that could.
Yeah. Oh
It
my gosh.
won't be me.
Yeah, it won't be Kaylee. She will not be out there with a lawnmower. No, I think that's so spot on though. Like once you can outsource the things you're bad at, you can
Yeah.
open yourself up to focus on the things that you are really good at and that help grow your business. I absolutely 100% agree.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I love your relationship with your mom.
Mhm.
I think that you guys have a great relationship. I touched on Justin and Kelly's relationship earlier in the podcast, but I love the relationship you have with your mom. What is something that your mom did for you growing up, or even now as into adulthood, that you've brought into your own parenting journey, and something that can maybe lend to the success of having such a good relationship?
This is gonna make me emotional again, Bailey.
My
She was
goal.
there. She was and she is. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like for Laundry Mountain or a soccer game or yeah, she's just always there, very consistent. So she was very consistent in like her parenting too. So like my mom, I'm really gonna swear now, but
Yeah.
my mom was always a like fuck around and find out kind of mom. We knew like she always worked from home, and if we walked in her office, we would like get the finger, like don't talk.
The pointer finger, not the
Yeah,
middle finger.
no, the pointer finger, like it was like wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, we honestly watched her from a very young age, like always. She worked for a small company and she did all of the things that she does for Black Pearl for it was a flooring company. And so we always saw her do that kind of stuff. And she had so much experience with small business just from doing that. And then I'd seen her do it in several different endeavors over the years. But yeah, she's great. She's
Yeah.
the best woman
Well,
ever.
that's awesome. I love
Best
that
movie ever.
consistency.
Yep.
I love it. Well, that's super cool.
Consistency in like the good and the bad. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to. I always tell my kids, I'm like, if I would have done that to Nanny, I would have been in big trouble. But now she
Totally.
gets to be like the funnest. Like Peyton cried wolf, we'll say. He stayed home from school. He
Oh.
was not sick, but he fooled me that he was. And so my mom ended up with him because Justin had a meeting that Peyton couldn't go to. And my mom texted me when she got him and she was like, Peyton's not sick. And I was like, so are you taking him to school? Because like as her child, like she would have been like, get your ass in the car.
Absolutely. We're going to school. Grab your backpack.
She texted me back and she says, nope, we're watching a movie. He's drinking coffee creamer out of a wine glass and we're eating snacks on the couch.
I saw her post about this, I think.
Yeah, I was like, fraud. And I told Peyton as soon as he got home, I was like, just so you know,
Oh my
Nanny
gosh.
would not have let Uncle and I get away with that. But I love that she gets to do it for our
Yeah.
kids.
Oh my
It's
gosh, that's so awesome. I saw that and I thought it was hilarious. I was like,
yeah,
what a fun, what a special
yeah,
memory
yeah.
for Peyton and your mom.
I might call out sick this week and do the same thing. Have to get dropped off at my mom's.
Dude, coffee creamer is bomb.
It's fun.
It's so
Fun.
good. I wish I would have drank it out of a wine glass as a kid, but I just did the little shots. Oh,
Yes, that's my kids at the salon. That's like their favorite thing is the little coffee creamer cups at the salon. They just,
absolutely.
I'm like, please don't drink more than 3 of those.
Yeah. Are they still at the salon? I'm gonna have to grab myself one next time. Next time I come, you're gonna
Okay,
offer me water, tea, or coffee creamer shot. Which
yeah.
one? I've got one last real question and then some fun questions, but what's next for your business ventures? Or are you kind of like, now we're in the maintenance, like now we're just growing these businesses? I'm curious if
Yeah.
there's anything up and coming.
No, not so Windmill Gardens has put their land up for sale and my parcel is for sale from it's me, the tea shop, and a really cute greenhouse. And I have put an offer in to buy that. Jamie and I have done an offer a couple months ago. Other businesses around us are contingent. Our offers are contingent. So that's something for new appearances that like I really hope happens. The Sumner Salon is old. It's an old house. So it would be super cool to be able to renovate and update and just know that the building's ours like we do with our salon suites. Like there's just certain stuff like, putting a new furnace in, like I know that it sounds silly, but like it makes a big difference for our clients because having AC and heat that works really well benefits everyone, but you can't necessarily do that in properties that aren't yours. So that's something I'm trying to do. I have no idea if it will happen. There's like so much contingency of other
Mhm.
things going on. So that's a hope and a dream is commercial. I think there's a similar hope and dream for Black Pearl Painters and Electric. Right now, we all work out of our homes. And like Justin and I, we share an office. So we like fully split time of, hey, can I be in there? Can you be in there? So I think Black Pearl Electric and Painters will also probably buy something commercial and really grow the businesses to have, office staff and more employees. So those are like probably next steps is
Yeah.
just truly growth.
Mhm.
But we're both in a place now that I think where we can, take a little bit more. And we
Mhm.
know that we do have to ask for help and hire more help for growth.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Oh, I hope that you guys get the space for Sumner.
it would be really
That'd be
cool.
pretty cool.
And I think the Sumner community is so special, and like our community is small, so we don't want
Mhm.
to like Windmill Gardens is something that people have loved forever.
Yeah.
So getting the opportunity to buy it and keep it what it is with maybe enhancing what's there would be a super cool opportunity.
Yeah. No, I love that. Okay, so just for some fun questions, I'm curious, what do you do to recharge or like give yourself that time to be the mom you want to be?
Hot yoga, easy.
Oh.
Yeah, I love hot yoga. I started it like probably a year and a half ago. Obviously, when you're pregnant, nursing, that kind of stuff, you can't do that. So I practiced before I had Peyton. It was like something I loved to go do at nighttime. Hairstylist, like spine strength and also mental strength for taking on people's loads and knowing what to do with it or finding an outlet for it. Yeah, I love hot yoga. It's the best. Again, that was something that I didn't do for so many years when I
Mhm.
wasn't pregnant or nursing. And it truly was just because, like, I didn't want to leave my kids.
Yeah.
But did I show up as good as a mom as I do once I go and do that workout and take that hour for myself? Probably not. Like,
Mhm.
I see it now more. I wish I would have done it sooner.
Yeah, it's very important to get that like time
Mhm.
to move your body.
Yeah.
Like it's so important. What would you say is your superpower?
Ooh. Chaos coordinator
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
would be probably my superpower. I can manage a lot of things at once. Probably not as well as ultimately possible, but I can, like Justin says to me all the time, it's a huge compliment, but he's like, you can get the kids ready, the dog put away, yourself ready, like fully ready, clean,
Yeah.
hair done,
Yes.
like you're ready. You got the kids loaded in the car and like I'm still putting on my shoes. Like he says all the time, he's like, you have the gifts in the car, you have like
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know how you do it. You like fully kick my ass every time. And it's not that he's not trying. Like he
Right.
will totally be like, can I help you with like I'm like, say
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Chaos coordinator. Ooh, that's such a
Mhm.
good one. Okay,
Mhm.
that'll be that's like your new title.
Yeah.
Um, okay, what's your birthday?
5/20 of 93.
Okay. So I have this birthday book. It's my great grandma's.
That's
Um,
cute.
and it was made in 1958. Okay, I'm just gonna like preface this by every person that I read this to, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I will say 99.97% of the people I read this to, it's spot on. It's spot on.
Okay. Cute.
Okay. You were born on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini and possess traits common to both signs. You are versatile, adaptable, but also somewhat restless and changeable. You are generous, capable, and willing to lend a helping hand. You are inclined to worry too much about trifles.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty spot on.
That's really spot on.
Oh,
I love
I
that.
love it. Yeah,
That's so
it's kind of
cool.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should read Justin's. Do his.
Okay, ooh, I will. What's Justin's?
I'm so curious. January 8th.
You like to meditate and seek knowledge for long periods. You should mingle more with people and overcome your innate fear of criticism. Avoid moodiness and too much solitude. You are calm, deliberate, and a good, careful organizer. Your positive qualities can carry you to the pinnacle of success.
Mm.
That's interesting.
He does embody some of those, but
Yeah.
they're not like what the surface level would see because he's always like goofy and wild.
Yeah.
But he does embody a lot of those like
Yeah.
behind the scenes. I tell people that a lot about him. I'm like,
I think that's super cool.
he's super, yeah, he's very different behind closed doors, like one on
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Ooh, I think well, I mean, like, even reading it, it's just funny because it's like, you can actually kinda see it.
Mhm.
Like, even though he is, like, kinda the wild, funny, crazy, like, he's, like, outgoing and things like that, it's kinda like, you can kinda tell that in order to be
Yeah.
successful, you can't always be that way too.
No.
You
Yeah,
have
no,
to
he
do these
definitely
things.
is. Yeah, yeah. No, that's pretty spot on. That's
That's
crazy.
awesome. I know. It's pretty
But
good.
he might
Um,
have messes, like, he's slight ADHD, undiagnosed.
Slide.
He can be, like, super messy, but then,
Mhm.
like, he answers the phone from, like, a customer that's, 4 years ago, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, what's up? Like, how is that doing? Like, oh, and how's the siding on the back left of your property? Are you ready to have that replaced?" And, like, he'll remember their paint color. Like, it's just weird stuff like that that I'm like, "Oh, you're not that disorganized."
Yeah. Oh, well, it's his superpower. He
Yeah.
doesn't he the disorganization, I mean, that's just a result of I honestly it's like a little bit of like a creative genius or like a little bit it's kind of like
Mhm.
you have these powers, whether it's people skills or business, knowledge. You don't have time to be cleaning
No.
your like, like you've organized it into a pile, you know where it's supposed to go, but
Mhm.
it takes up too much brain power for you to actually move it to the place it's supposed to go. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just how I feel.
Mhm. You nailed it.
What is one thing on your bucket list that you'd want to do sooner rather than later?
Ooh, I really, really, really want to go, like, out of the country, outside of, like, Mexico and Canada. Like, I've been to both a few times, so I would love to go see other parts of the world.
Do you have any dream locations?
Mm, Justin and I have regularly talked about, like, Australia. He's been talking about Thailand so much. I think the younger version of me, like, I always was, I wanna go to Paris. I wanna see the Eiffel Tower. And I don't feel that way as much now, but it definitely is, like, something that still is in the back of my brain to say that I've been there.
Yeah. Would you wanna go alone with Justin, or would you want to take the kids?
No, I would wanna take the kids.
Same. I really wanna take the kids overseas, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, no, our kids travel so well. So, kids fly free until they're 2. Harper took 14 free flights
Ooh, that's awesome.
in her
That's
first
really cool.
years of life. And that wasn't not, like, to big stuff, it would be, like,
Yeah.
down to California or, like, that kinda stuff, but, yeah, my kids travel well, and we love to
Mhm.
travel with them. Since we are able to show them the world while they're young, like, why not? Like,
Yeah, I love that. Well, I can't wait to see where that adventure takes you.
I know.
What is your go-to celebration meal? Birthday or if you were on death row?
On death row. This is, like, very weird for me because I was not a meat eater for, like, a long time, and I could never, like, relate to people when they were like, "Oh, I just want a steak." Like, I
Uh-huh.
just want steak. But Justin and I found this restaurant in Tacoma. It's called Crano Bravo. We love it, and the steak there is, like, the best thing I've ever had. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I would say that's, like, my number 1, like, if he said, "Where do you wanna go right now?" Like,
Mhm.
that's where it would be.
Okay,
Mm,
cool.
yeah.
And then this is my last one, but 3 people you'd want on your apocalypse team.
Well, it's easy. Justin and I both have a brother, so it's Justin, Brandon, and Kyle.
What
Yeah,
would you be bringing to the team? What's your skill?
making sure they had food, water, probably,
Chaos coordination?
yeah, bandaging their wounds. I can sew hair extensions, I could probably sew skin, I've been told by a doctor. Yeah, just doing, like, all of the mom wife duties to keep them safe would probably be my role.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're coming to the end. I'm curious, tell people, like, where they can find you.
My personal Instagram is private. I don't put a ton out. It's just, like, of my kids, but we did decide to create a TikTok that is for kind of our family. We don't really have much business stuff on it yet, but we would like to eventually. So it's called The Schulke Show on TikTok. You can find us there. On Instagram, you can find us anywhere. New appearances, Black Pearl Painters, Black Pearl Electric. Same, like, across the board. Google, Facebook, Yelp,
Mhm.
all the things.
Perfect. And any advice you want to give to moms or last words that you'd like to share?
Just do it. Like if there's something that you want to do that you like have in a notepad in your phone, just do it. Even if it's small scale, like, and everything is small scale to begin with. Yeah.
Awesome. Just do it.
Take the first step, open the
Yep.
business, and
Hmm.
ask for
Well,
help.
ask for help. My
Help.
gosh, that's such a good
Mhm.
one.
Mhm.
Yes. Set aside your ego, set aside the need to do it all. Ask for
Yeah.
help.
Yep.
Oh,
You
I
got
love
it.
that. Well, thank you, Kaylee. We love that you're part of
Mhm.
this Mom Boss community. It is so special. You're an OG in the Mom Boss group. It
Yep.
is, I mean, it's amazing to have you be a part of this. And I can't wait to see what kinds of things we can create in the future. But I
Me
appreciate you
either.
being here and I appreciate your support.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Bye, Shulky Shit Show.
Bye, Schulke Shit Show.